Hello, everybody. My name is Yan, and I'm with
I don't
Jade Yuki, and we're gonna be continuing the letter after a month of not playing it. So, good times. Do you want to narrate this time? Because my voice about died last time.
Sure. A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens.
Oh, I kicked out again.
And not the usual autumn draft by somebody clicking out of the game, but it's still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion.
My cat's staring at me right now.
That is creepy. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. Help me.
I don't want to.
I don't look back.
That's a good choice.
We spend the ride back to Luxburn City in a relatively quiet manner with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence. Occasionally, Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles or it's on a respectable volume, otherwise he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, if the furtive glances he's been sending my way are signs, I know there are things he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I keep my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside in the small hope that my disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from the small compartment on his side. It hits me cleanly on the chin before I can make a move to catch it. The small package makes a soft landing on my lap instead.
Sorry.
The glare I send him wipes the smirk about to form cleanly off his face. He clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear he did that on purpose.
He probably did.
I know he did. Ignoring him, I flip the half-forgotten package on my lap.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch yet?
I don't even get a chance to deny it because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly, and an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable.
Rip.
No surprise there. I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch up with Becca while she was on break.
You should take your friends seriously.
But not enough in order to skip out on 2 meals.
Rip.
I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feeling's new to me, though. If anything, it's just one of the things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years growing up. A thanks, then I tear open the package and start nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from an acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after that small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, it's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not going to nag at you.
That's fair.
How'd the open house go?
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job. Which brings us to three. It's been months since you last settled the deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How do you even know about the last one?
Rebecca.
Of course.
Anyhow, you're hell-bent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out. Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you. Even me.
He's not entirely wrong.
He could be.
Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you.
I
I
hate
really hate
you.
you right now.
I hate you.
His answer's a small laugh. The kind that screams, I'm right, I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it when he does that.
I'll have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you expressed any sort of interest
Actually,
in it,
2 people.
I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Well, there are a couple.
Yeah.
Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. Why, of all times, did I have to screw up like that in front of an important customer no less? I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts.
Everybody likes free
You
donuts.
don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
No.
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa. Or is it the wardrobe this time?
He meant that as a joke, but how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold and my own heart beat a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdening by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normally business.
You made them angry?
Not angry, just stuff happened.
Like?
Stuff.
Things.
Things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the rights, wasn't it?
I can't answer that. At least not without revealing everything that took place in the attic.
I'm not gonna lie to him. That's
yeah,
terrible.
I'd say so.
Asking me about my work, it hasn't a single word about yours. That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the
Is
earth.
Zach the one with the camera?
Yes.
Okay. We haven't met him yet, but I saw him in the opening and stuff.
An over-exaggeration, but changing the subject to something else is still better than outright lying to him.
I agree.
Besides, it never works with him.
Lying rarely works.
I'm not sure if it's because I'm just bad at it or because he's just really very good at his job. He doesn't answer immediately, only momentarily shifting a glance over to me and returning it back to the road when he has to make a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings.
Do we know what his job is? Did it tell us?
I don't think he said yet.
Okay.
I wonder how long before we reach the venue for Zach's film. Checking the street signs outside, it appears Ash has taken the longer route. Odd, but he's probably trying to avoid the rush hour traffic.
Or spend more time with you.
Did you just
Oh.
chat?
That's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly
Hey
a
man,
conversation.
memes are life.
That
What are
starts
you
a
talking
conversation.
about?
Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at all of them.
Shut up. And you aren't answering my question.
That earns him a soft punch into his arm. I did laugh at them, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that I find most of them funny.
Most of them.
It'll only make his head bigger. Stupid Ash.
Alright. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before? We've been trying to pin the bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago.
He recounts what he's been doing in the time we haven't seen each other. His usual work, the occasional small investigation, and the big case he's been stuck working on, stuff he couldn't mention in the brief time we can catch each other online. Although most of it are the trimmed-down version, only things he can tell, he has always been careful about that. Even the way he spins his answers to my questions, just enough to satisfy my curiosity, but not enough to paint the whole picture. At one point, his voice takes on a strange tone when he mentions something about the big case, but I don't dwell on it much.
Big case.
That's normal, right? I mean, who wouldn't be frustrated if you couldn't bring someone to justice because they kept slipping out of your fingers? If I were in his shoes, I'd definitely lose my mind. His stories never cease to be entertaining regardless. If things weren't the way they were back home, maybe I would have considered taking on the same job as him? Well, nope, not really. Mama would never allow that. But the idea is still there. Along with countless others I've let go. Time passes quickly between us in this manner, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house.
A movie?
Yeah, look at the names of this, like,
Wow.
Pocket Chibi...
Pocket GB, that's adorable. I want to go see that
I
one.
know. Batcat.
Batcat.
Point of No Return.
I want to go see Batcat too.
I know.
I want to see both of them. So I guess our relationship improved.
Yes.
Yeah, sick. Because we didn't lie to him.
Better not lie.
I feel good.
Better
I
not
feel
lie
good
to
we
him.
didn't lie to him.
A small crowd has already formed in front of the theater when we arrive. The Lift Fest, short for Luxburn Independent Film and Theater Festival, attracts a bigger crowd annually, and this year's no different. I've only been to a few indie film screenings with Zach, so I'm not an expert on the matter.
Wait, does he film movies?
He's getting in the process of it,
Ooh.
but this is his first one.
Ooh.
But I know
That's
that
cool.
for people hoping to make a break in the industry, getting your film recognized by a local event like this is already a big enough deal. Especially for a newcomer like Zach, he hasn't even won an award, but just getting a confirmation letter that the festival committee wants to include his movie in this year's lineup already put a grin on his face for weeks.
I'd be ecstatic.
Oh yeah. Speaking of the guy, he is impossible to miss. At 6 feet,
6 feet.
he appears to loom over most of the moviegoers, and with his large build and heavy voice, there's no surprise when people give him a wide berth as they pass by. It's often easy to mistake him for someone intimidating at first glance. I did, back when I didn't know any better. Ash did too, I heard, once early in their friendship.
Oh, there's Zach.
Hey, bud.
Hey, you guys! Long time no see!
Zach's face lights up with a smile of his own. He moves toward us with careful steps, taking a significant effort to make himself smaller as to not bump or accidentally hit anyone. Typical Zach. As he nears, Ash casually raises his hand in greeting, and...
Sup, C-Man? Man,
Let's
what's
crack-a-lackin',
homie?
The awkwardness that descends within the immediate vicinity of our small group is palpable enough. Somewhere to our left, a girl giggles, and only then do I become aware of my mouth hanging open. I'm almost amazed how Ash can say that out loud with a straight face. Almost. Considering his track record, I should be used to it by now. Zach seems to be.
Don't stop trying to act like Ashton. One who calls me Z-Man.
There's fondness underneath his exasperated tone. If this were any other person, he'd likely be offended, but years of friendship and familiarity have made those words harmless to the other's ears. Or at least enough for both to take it in stride.
It's been a while, Zach.
I hope you didn't get into trouble again.
Not much getting into trouble lately without you, I'm afraid. I'll let you know if something comes up, though.
Nah, I ended up with Chicken Down stuck on me last time I agreed. I'd really love at least this year to pass without some sort of accident happening again.
I've always wanted to know that story of how he got chicken down stuck on.
I'm not gonna ask.
Hey, I take offense to that. It wasn't that bad.
You really have no idea.
A beat passes. And then Zach laughs.
Hey, I'm kidding. You know you can always count on me.
It's a story only the two of them are privy to. Every now and then, Ash will enlist Zach's help on something. Becca and I never really found out what the real deal is with those adventures, as Ash calls it, and both aren't willing to tell due to some unspoken agreement. She insists that if it's Ash, it's likely not something illegal or life-threatening. I tend to believe her on that.
Hopefully.
Sometimes. Ah, well, boys will be boys, I guess. I give Zach a small wave from behind Ash when his attention eventually turns to me.
Bella! Huh? Rebecca's not with you. Is she still sick?
A bit. But she's up and went to work this morning. You know she doesn't listen to anyone that's not Ash.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't. You're literally the only person she'll listen to when she's feeling stubborn.
And it's true, they've known each other far longer than any of us in the group, childhood friends and all.
But don't worry, Zach. She's probably on her way here now. She promised she wouldn't miss your movie. Isabella! Oh, thank goodness!
Speak of the devil.
I forgot about her thick accent.
Without warning, a hand grabs me by the shoulder and turns me around.
Becca, you're just in time!
I have to lean back a little with the way her face is almost invading my personal space, but she places her hand on either side of my head to keep me still. She stares at me intently, concern filling her eyes.
Now I'm even more intimidated.
You're squishing my face. How are you? Are you alright? Why wouldn't I be? Rose called me earlier.
Oh boy.
Those 4 words tell me all I need to know.
We still see Rose's smile in our nightmares.
That's... oh my god. Since I don't have my family living close by, and the only other relative I have here works on the far side of the country, I gave my company Becca's contact number in case of emergency. I should have known Rose would call her. I push Becca's hands away from my face. Although she lets go, her eyebrows remain drawn together.
Oh no, everything's good. Rose covered me at work today. That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
Beside me, Ash snickers. I bite back the urge to elbow him in place, trying to avoid Becca's hand as she tries to reach out for the set area. I do my best to dodge her, all at once moving to hide behind Zach. Sorry for using you as a human shield, Zach.
Oh, it's nothing.
I mean, he would be the one to use.
On my way down. I blacked out for a few seconds and had a minor bump, but it's just that. You blacked out? It's not something to brush off. Come on, at least let me check it. It's extremely minor. You wouldn't even know it's there. Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
She did look pale when I saw her.
Wow, thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this, just you wait.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
I'm sorry, saw her?
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Something crosses Becca's face, but it's gone before I can figure out what it is.
Oh, that's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. Good.
Someone's jealous.
See,
a pleading look.
Please.
Zach's a sensible guy. He'll understand. Please understand.
Not really. But Rebecca has a point. In the end, I think it's your call.
For heaven's sake! Please, Becca. I really don't want to miss it.
Yeah, we gotta see our friend's movie.
Yeah,
You
you're
want to see
Yeah.
it? Oh, we're just moving it on a different day so we can have a...
Look, you guys.
Ash's loud sigh unexpectedly cuts through the conversation. He's pinching the bridge of his nose as he speaks, something he usually does when he's getting impatient.
If she says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me. If she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
I'm not. But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the
Why
one
are we
looking
getting
forward
into
to
a
it
debate
most.
over watching a movie or not? Like, come on, guys.
Ash, that's... You, of all people, should know.
Probably mainly because we passed out.
I mean, I get it, but like, her watching a movie is not gonna like make it, you know, her headspace any different.
Tell you what, if I know something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself.
I mean, maybe if it's a horror movie. But...
Is that good enough for you?
I already know the answer before Rebecca voices it out. When at last she releases a deep sigh and nods, albeit with great reluctance, I immediately tackle her for a hug.
Thanks, Becca. It's always been you with him, isn't it? Did you say something? Me? Nothing. Don't mind me.
Don't lie.
If you say so.
Okay,
It
guys,
seemed like
showtime's
nothing to
close,
me.
so I think I'm gonna get us some snacks. My treat. And then let's head inside. Anyone here has a smaller bill?
I think I do. Hold on.
I pull myself from Becca to get my wallet from my bag, and
What's this?
it's already in Ash's hands before I can even react.
Oh, the letter.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Behind
Oh no.
him, behind him, Becca and
Oh,
Zach are both
no.
giving the piece of paper an intrigued look.
We were trying not to.
No! Give it back!
Don't look at it.
It's just a paper.
I don't care! Give it!
Deadly paper.
Looks ancient
Deadly
too.
paper.
Why do you keep it
You're
around?
right. The written word is deadly.
Yeah, I tried to reach for it, but he holds the paper way above his head.
Oh, like school children.
Way
Oh my
up
god.
here. I've never been particularly sensitive about my own height, but right now I really wish I had that advantage over him.
Don't open it!
What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to... Hold on a second. This is, isn't it?
No.
Even if it is, it's not for you.
Okay. Now I'm curious.
I'm telling you it's nothing like that. It's...
The rest of my words are lost when he unfolds the paper.
Oh my god, Ash. Come on, man.
I can't breathe.
Come. Too early for Halloween is my achievement.
Yeah. My heart feels stuck in my throat, pounding, threatening to burst out. Vaguely, I note how my hands are trembling at my sides. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They are still shaking, but I hang on to them regardless. The awful, sick weight that has taken its core in my stomach back in the open house returns full force.
Wait, how many people were we supposed to show?
5.
5?
We've shown
Okay.
6.
Oof.
So we're
Wait. We showed the couple, right?
We showed
And
it to
then
Hannah,
Rose.
Luke, and the interior designer, Marianne McCulloch.
Or yeah.
We didn't show it to Rose,
We did not show it to Rose.
and
Okay.
then these 3, so we're up to 6.
Oof.
We only needed 5,
Oof.
so we good.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to show it to everybody, but
Oh, I mean, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this?
I don't know if you could fix this.
Someone, please.
I don't know.
Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare.
Send this to 5 people or else. Well, that's... interesting.
Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first.
The only sensible one out of this whole group
Aren't you
should
a
be
few
like,
days early for Halloween?
Ash waves the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its contents. I don't need to see. I don't want to see.
I've already seen and I don't like it.
The letters, the words, every stroke written in blood is already embedded in my mind. Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way...
It's not a prank.
It makes all of them stop. Even I am surprised with how steady my voice is.
What did you say?
This isn't a prank! I saw something! Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper? Or is it about the urban legend again? Both. I know it sounds ridiculous.
You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed. You've got to be kidding me.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys. Isabella, aren't you taking
Students,
something in the house
students.
earlier.
No.
It stood right in front of me.
If somebody came at me telling me all of this, first off,
I don't know if I'd believe it either, yeah.
well, I mean, I don't know if I believe it either, but with the insistency in it, I'd be willing to give the benefit of
Right,
the doubt.
right.
Be like,
I mean,
something happened.
if I just heard that, like, off the, top of their head, I'd be like, okay, you're joking with me. But, like, if she's so, like, serious about it.
I'd be
Yeah.
like, something happened. I don't know if exactly
And
how
she's not one to lie. Like, I mean,
She can't lie.
yeah.
She's
If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have.
If I hadn't hit that Z button 60 times, I might have...
She's still caught up at whenever we fell down the stairs.
And in
Yeah.
broad daylight, Isabella, even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up. There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
But it's real.
Just wait till the end.
Hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing.
Her face.
We're all in danger. I thought
She's
you were
she's
friends.
real intense right
Why
now.
don't you believe me?
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Without another word, I snatched the letter out of Ash's hand and stuffed it back in my bag with more force than necessary.
Oof, she's angry.
I'm tired. I got cursed, saw a ghost, probably lost a sale, got kicked out of the open house I'm supposed to be hosting. My own
Rip.
friends won't believe me, and all of them think I'm crazy.
Rip.
To top it all off, there's a dull ache at the back of my head begging for a little attention I can't afford to give right now. Honestly, there's so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about today.
I think about that like every day of my life.
Oh, yeah. But before I can take a single step away from the group,
Guys!
Zach rarely ever raises his voice, even when there's a point when he wants to drive home, and hearing him take on that tone completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca. Whatever harsh words yet to come out from the argument immediately die on our tongues.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her. And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together?
Yeah.
We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat.
You tell him, Zach.
Please.
Please.
He has a point.
He's the sensible one.
Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, has also been looking forward to this. He even took the time to call this morning for a reminder. He never does that. Becca, too. I'm pretty sure that's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yet, despite Zach's attempts to lighten things up, or Ash's and Becca's acquiescing gestures, the tightness in my chest remains.
Word.
I should have just kept it to myself, or at least went with the idea that it's a prank. If I did, things might not have turned out the way they had. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Careless, so careless. Maybe leaving is the better decision for all of us.
But the movie.
I mean, honestly, she has a point. I feel like the premiere is different than just going to see
Right.
it. That-
I feel like the premiere is like really important. He worked so hard for it. Like,
yeah, honestly, like if that'd be something I'd do, like I'd be understanding.
It'd be
but
like-
I'd be disappointed.
it'd be like me having a book release on my novel, and like I'd want people to show up for that. Like, I want to stay.
I vote stay.
I want to stay.
Any other day, I'd excuse myself and go straight home.
Happened.
Zach,
Everybody went up.
Well,
wow.
no, Zach and Ash went
Oh,
up, but Rebecca went
Rebecca
down.
went down because she's frightened for our safety.
Well, we're under the bar now.
Oh boy, oof.
We got plenty of time.
Well, at least our friendship with Zach went up. That's nice.
But this is something special to Zach. Something he
Yeah.
worked so hard to bring to life. I should know better.
So what happens when your their bar goes down? Like that just does anything like bad happen?
It doesn't really show until later, depending on like.
What your relationship status is? Okay.
Yeah, and then it'll kind of affect the ending a bit.
Okay.
I might be having a bad day, but being with the few people I care about far outweighs the idea of spending the rest of the day throwing a tantrum alone in my room.
That's true. Sometimes when you're like that upset, you need to like be out of your own head because it's like it just makes it worse.
Oh yeah. And what if the thing in the attic follows me home?
Oh God.
Didn't think about that. I don't want to be left with my thoughts either. I can still see it wherever I close my eyes.
I would too.
And maybe if I stay, let our heads cool down first before telling them what happened. But listen to me, there's nothing you can't solve with a calm head.
Politics tells me otherwise.
One step at a time, Isabella. That's what Mama used to tell me. Besides, I don't have the heart to ditch Zach.
Yeah, look at that face.
He's
He's
a big
such a good dude.
He's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
The smile is back on my face when I look back at them.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
Alright, that's the Isabella I know.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
This time I really do send an elbow straight to his
He's
stomach.
like, face is so green.
He's like, stupid. Ash being vertically challenged has its perks too.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Oh, don't cry.
Stop it!
Okay, scaredy cat then.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
Without another word, Becca goes inside. She doesn't even stop to wait for us when I call after her. Ash and I exchange looks at that, the same question likely swimming inside our minds. Did something happen at school after I left? Is she having a bad day too?
I think a lot of people are having a bad day.
I'll try asking her about it later, I guess.
Sure.
You guys go catch up with her. I'll go get us the food, I promise.
But you'll miss it!
Didn't you say watching a movie without food ain't fun? It ain't like I haven't seen it. I made it, remember?
Yeah, but something about watching it for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing like that final edited
Okay.
product all together
Yeah,
is just
right?
so good.
Ah.
One friendly tap on my shoulder and then he's gone. A few moviegoers are still milling about, and some are still waiting in line for tickets, but otherwise most of the crowd are already inside. There's nothing much for us to do here now. Not a word of protest comes from me when Ash gestures for the two of us to head inside.
And then,
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Absolutely sure.
And you're talking in the middle of it. All this work, all this time that Zach put in, and you're talking halfway through
Come
the
on,
movie.
guys.
It's like,
It's terrible.
Come on. Somehow, halfway through the movie, the conversation steered toward what happened inside the mansion. To be fair, Zach was the one who brought it up again. In his own movie's premiere. Now the film's just serving as a background noise while we're speaking in hushed tones, careful not to disturb anyone inside the small hall. Well, except for Ash. I just hope we don't end up arguing about it again. We'd all get kicked out for sure. Though with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out way before any argument happens. Only Becca still remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us.
That would be me.
She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I think we did something that offended her.
She's probably mad.
She's jealous.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Did?
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know, but jeez, he should learn to listen. Plus, didn't he say he doesn't believe in these things? Why is he in this conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge. If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
I am not going back there.
ain't that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
Rose does the first floor tour.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Nella.
There are
Right.
no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
You worked
Yeah,
there.
but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
He's right.
You got a point. Oh, the house did change hands over the years from one distant relative of the Ermengardes to another. None of them bothered to live in it, though, and it remained that way up until its current owners decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
Church.
You're not seriously considering a suggestion, are you?
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I can contact him for you if you want.
You do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
There are very few times in my life when I wish my glowers can kill. This is one of those.
Ash, that is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
No, wait, that's not what I meant. Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
No.
Ashton, if you don't stop...
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too. She can vouch for him.
Becca tears her eyes away from the screen at the mention of her name.
Huh? What? Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. Can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, the scaredy cat here mentioned curses. Not that I'm saying this is one. But talking to him is a better solution for me than getting a random priest to bless an old house. He'll even help you figure things out, teach you a couple things, and probably
I have
put
to
your
make a
fears
choice
to
about
rest
this, don't
since
I?
this looks to be bothering you a lot.
But hang on. Ethnography, the scientific description of the customs of individual peoples and cultures. So basically like a culture studier or something. Something like that.
Like a cultural sociologist.
Kinda.
Sort of.
It's just a fancy word for it.
Huh, okay. I've never heard that term before either. That's
Ash might be right.
interesting. Oh, sorry.
Granted,
I read
they
it in
don't
my brain.
Granted, they don't believe me. They're only giving me these suggestions to put my mind at ease, but it's better than being ignored or being laughed at. I can take comfort in knowing they are willing to hear me out.
So, what do you think?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
Why do I always have to
I
choose?
don't know.
Who should I meet? Meet with the
Alright,
priest or
let's-
the professor?
So,
It's between Zach and Ash.
our relationship with Ash is pretty high.
What to say? I know generally how it goes with the professor, more or less. The priest I know next to nothing about. And I feel like in that scenario, like trying to put myself in Isabella's shoes, if I saw the Ringu girl in an attic in an open house that I was meeting with, I'd be like, get me blessed. I'm not religious or anything at all either, but I'd be like, give me the holy water.
Right?
Give me
That's
the-
what, in my brain, my like supernatural fan brain is like, get the holy water,
Get the-
perform the ritual, like just
I'd be
do
like-
whatever you need to
I'd be
do.
like, get the holy water, get the iron, get the salt.
The salt, get all of that.
Get everything. I'd have rained
I
down
mean,
the
that's
kitchen.
what I was thinking, because it's more than just, I don't know. I mean, the professor could definitely help in some respects, but I feel like there's more going on than just a...
Just from the little bit that I know.
And we need our relationship with Zach to go up.
Yes, the big
So,
teddy bear. Like we
yeah,
need him
like,
up.
well, we just met him, so we haven't really had the time, but yeah, I feel like we need his relationship to go up. I'm thinking the priest.
Yeah, priest.
And that'll be something new for you to look at too, since you haven't seen anything.
I only know what
with
he
that
looks
yet,
like, and I
so.
know that I guess he's got
Interesting.
like he's a part of triplets in here because they use like the same model for
Eh.
like, 3 different characters. So I'm like, he's one of them.
All right.
I'll think about it. But maybe we could go with Zach's idea?
Hey,
Oh, his didn't even go down.
Good.
That's cool. All right, sick.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to try, right?
At least he's not upset with
If it
us.
doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least we did something than just stand around.
That's true.
I'll let you know when he's available, Belle.
There's a pib. There's a pib.
We're getting all the cats today.
No. Hey, pib.
Thanks, Zach. I knew I could count on you.
Always count on Zach. He's a good boy.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep
Right?
insisting that we still watch it. You're not even paying attention yourselves.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard on this. The least we could do is watch it with you.
That's what you're all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
They're just all sitting there and just be like, I'm glad you're even sitting in the same theater as me with my movie showing on the screen.
Aw.
I throw her an apologetic look, even if Ash is the only one she should be reprimanding, but her attention is already back on the screen. She's ignoring us again.
Right.
When Becca's acting this way, there's a big chance something's nagging at her. We really need to talk.
We gotta get that relationship back up.
We all fall into a comfortable silence after, the kind only you can share with people you're most at ease with.
Yep.
For the first time today, the letter lays forgotten in my bag, if only for a few hours.
Well, you're not gonna forget it for long.
How long is this movie? It's a few hours. It's normally an hour and a half to 2. Unless it's Marvel, then it's 2.5.
Unless it's Marvel, then it's 2 to 3. Yeah. I think like Endgame was like what 3.5 or something.
Almost 4.
Yeah. Oof.
Night has fallen by the time we exit the movie house. Despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling full of people. Those are about to head home, those set to meet someone, even those simply wandering about. Walking in the sea of unfamiliar souls, it strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in a city as nondescript as Luxburn. I was afraid too, at one point back when I was new and had just set foot in this place. Now, with familiar faces walking with me, it feels a little like home. Zach and Ash bid us goodbye shortly before Becca and I crossed to the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the date ends, and Ash, who knows? He never tells. Sometimes he'll just randomly appear at your doorstep looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zach a lot, much to the latter's frustration. But he's a busy guy too, in spite of the laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
No problem, Zach. I'm sorry for what happened earlier.
Oh.
no.
I'm not even near the mansion right now.
A sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning, my chest tightening, breathing becoming labored. I can taste blood in my mouth. The edges of my vision blurs.
That's not good.
Oh. In the distance, amidst the countless, nameless people going about their lives, a voice reaches out to me. Help me. Bleeding even as I clench my eyes tight and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering, and whispering, and whispering. Calling out.
Not me.
Oh, somebody.
Isabella? Back to Isabella?
At her voice, the whole world suddenly snaps into place. The murmur's gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raises an eyebrow at me in question.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just, okay. Sorry, I spaced out.
You always do that.
Follow her without complaint, but not before sneaking a glance to the far end of the street. Where the voice came from, where another set of eyes might be staring at me. Nothing.
For
There are
now.
only Zach and Ash watching over us as we head back to where Becca parked her car. If I'm expecting to see something or someone there, I try not to let it show, try not to think of the tiny pinpricks of fear crawling at the pit of my stomach.
See you guys some other time.
Yeah, see ya.
Another glance, and with the final wave, we go off on our own ways.
Yeah. Maybe in a couple months. Yeah, sure.
I don't know what I saw, I don't know what I heard, I don't want to know. And if this is what would help me sleep at night, what would give me back that normalcy in my life, then so be it. The darkness closes around me, grasping,
All right, that was a transition.
pulling, engulfing me. The ground caves in, and without warning, I'm falling. Look at all
my
the
God.
instant noodle cups.
That is a messy room.
But they're-
Jesus.
But look how big
Those are
they
nice
are.
pictures, though. They're really nice pictures.
Those are nice pictures.
I like
I
those.
didn't see those pictures.
Yeah, those are really, really nice.
I love that bat pillow like on
Yes,
the far
I
part.
kind of want that. The cat bat, yes.
Well, we got cat bats, but
Yes.
but look at the.
But that's a big, chunky cat bat.
I know. And look at the yang
The
yang
sheep.
sheep.
Yes.
And then look how big those noodle cups are.
Those are.
Like, those are huge.
Mhm.
For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders ache after I've fallen asleep all hunched up the night before. Drenched in sweat, the nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through my window and allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. I haven't had a single dream since coming to Luxburn, or at least none that I can recall having. It's a shame because it used to be so vivid. Not the crazy vivid, but the more pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone?
Maybe you should get a roommate.
Well, Becca's literally right next door to her, so kinda has a roommate.
Yeah.
The knowledge that I'll always wake up to an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to.
What time is it?
Habit forces me to look over at the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavily on my shoulders and the compulsion to never leave my bed for the day.
I feel that.
Oh yeah.
That was me yesterday. I was like, let me just waller for another, like, 2 hours.
In a heartbeat, I'm up.
Oh man, of all the times to oversleep. Towel? Where's my towel?
Is that a new song?
Admittedly, it's a weekend, as an unspoken rule that entitles me to extra hours of sleep. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened... Oh lord, one box of donuts as peace offering won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom and a muffled ringing breaks out from my bag. There's a moment of indecision at first, my mom conflicted whether I should just ignore it or answer it. But what if it's Rose? Or worse, our
Or boss. Oof.
Ah, sheesh. In the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pull the device out.
Oof, that's a constant reminder. That's awful.
Just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood, and it takes every force of will for me to ignore it in favor of answering the call. The caller ID reads Mama.
Mama.
Huh?
It's around 4:45 p.m. in the Philippines right now.
That's an unusual time for them to call.
Usually it's around noontime here, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else than an international call. Regardless, I'm the most cheerful tone I can gather.
Hello?
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Mama! I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there?
We're good, we're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
Her accent is so perfect for living in the Philippines, and I work with a Filipino woman, so I know how broken that accent should be. There's a tired lilt in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there's something I can do for her. But from miles away like this, the least I'm able to do is not make her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that'll ever happen. Odds are, Kuya Jordan's already out drinking right now. Again. I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own, and, well, Ate Ann's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having ran herself knee-deep in debt.
Oof.
Great! That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
You got a big family.
Well, that and
They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you,
names
but
for
they're all busy with
Yeah.
school.
Philippines.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
It's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach. From the way Mama's voice hitches, she doesn't want to bring it up either.
Papa. Grace, he's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds. But the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well. The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
So that's why she's broke. She's helping pay for her parents.
Her
Oh,
dad.
I see. That's good.
What a responsible child.
I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family. It used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. But ever since he was diagnosed with a sickness 5 years ago, he had been unable to provide for us. Now the burden of feeding 8 mouths and settling Papa's bills all rest on my shoulders.
Oof.
Although Mama makes a little accepting sewing and laundry jobs in our neighborhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the cost of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even expect help from our own government because the health insurance there barely covers anything. Kinda
I'm
like
sure
you.
he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. Start to think that the call got cut until...
Listen, Grace. Maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it a deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors. But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter. I can handle myself. Everything's going well here.
Oh, everything's...
In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Everything's great! Everything's great.
Up until yesterday.
Yeah.
Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. She doesn't need to know that. Sorry, Mama. You taught me not to lie. Yeah, look what I'm doing.
I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition, too.
Like a little catchy tune in the background.
Thank you so much, dear.
Very sad, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Ah. Kailan ka ui. When are you coming home? EJ, the youngest, used to be the only person asking me that. How do you respond to a question you don't have a definitive answer to? 5 years later, and I still can't give them a straight one. I smile, though Mama can't see it. I fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weigh her down with unnecessary concerns.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome you when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
There's a small commotion on the other end. The sound of gates opening, the voice of a child, EJ, talking excitedly about his day at school, the tapping of feet on the floorboards as he runs. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighborhood kids bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them so much.
It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Closing my eyes for a moment, I take a deep breath and shake away the thoughts
she's
beginning to
really
swim
gonna
inside
be
my
late.
head. Oh no. It's pointless to mull over these things right now.
Okay, Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
So I can get the hell out of there.
And hopefully not die. Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from my phone, it
Oh
rings
my
again.
god.
No doubt Mama forgot to say something.
Mama? Did you forget anything?
That's Rose.
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? Oh,
I think that
never mind
smells a little better.
Get yourself in the
Ew.
office.
Just a
Hurry.
little
That's
better.
when she's showing her teeth.
Yeah.
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about
Sir
yesterday?
John.
Am I in trouble?
Sojourn.
Oh god, oh god, oh god. I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if...
No, no, no. It's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, alright? I'll tell you everything then.
There's the telltale din of several sheep shuffling against the wooden flooring and an indistinct yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting. But it's enough reason for me to hastily discard my phone and finish my shower in record time.
Woohoo.
I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment completely disheveled and out of breath. A feat if I take into account my usual travel time.
Dude, like, taking a shower and then, like, whoosh. Like,
immediately,
damn.
like, fixing everything
That's a
on the
lot.
way.
And within 30 minutes.
Yeah, routine clamor common to Briar Realty Corporation's Luxburn office greets me as soon as my foot crosses the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about, and...
Where the hell is he? Where are my employees?
Hi, Sir
What
John.
the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice.
Jesus.
My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. In front of HR, throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is half their workload has been shifted to all available staff so as to not lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Oh, they got the little Yang Yang
Yang
Corporation
Yang,
logo.
it's everywhere.
That's cute.
They own everything in this world.
I mean, you're not wrong. I just think it's cool that they're able to put their little logo in random places like that.
If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
There's that smile. You're right. You were missing that, weren't
No,
you?
I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Oh boy.
Oh, I just noticed like a Gundam thing, I think, like over
Yeah.
on my desk.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but whatever.
And then I look back to see that face.
Mm.
Look, one after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands without explanation. A page flutters away from the top of the pile, and I lean down to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. A purchase and sales agreement. Rose simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor lounge when I tilt my head in question. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humbly decorated room, is the same couple from the day before.
Not surprised.
The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
I mean, they really wanted
She
it. They
swaps-
really wanted it.
Hannah really wanted it, or I'm sorry, Hannah really wanted it.
Hannah.
Hannah. She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants this sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here, the deal needs to be closed, yet documents need to be signed still, but the elation is there. Along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than
Whoa.
the listing price. As long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible.
Why pay more?
If we allow it, they'll be paying up front too.
Even with that urban legend?
Rose nods.
Oh. I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork, Judy Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on?
Right.
I'd haggle it down to the lowest possible price if I were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. It doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having our boss sign the agreement is the easiest since it has put him in a better mood to the entire office's relief. Mom Hana calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than what one would typically expect from a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel. How are you feeling?
Still getting my name wrong.
You looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
Putting it lightly.
I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Not Belle. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
Ma'am Hana skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for and the process contracts like these undergoes. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I haven't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it's purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they're buying, or he simply finds paperwork tedious. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Mom Hana clasped her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I released the breath that we'd been holding, and both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then? Are you really sure about this property, ma'am? We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted,
Yeah, something
perhaps?
not haunted?
Rose shoots me a warning glance that clearly says, "Don't make a scene, we're almost there."
Of course. Why wouldn't I be? The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
He's just gonna say whatever to make you happy, is what he's gonna
That'll
say.
still be a nice addition.
Or that.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it. Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am. Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan after all. You know how much thought you
Already planning a housewarming party.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts. It is our housewarming party and our new home.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, and before we forget,
She discreetly folds something in both our hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips, demanding our silence.
I know both of you worked hard on getting us this
Oh.
beautiful mansion. Did I mention
Money,
you
money,
reward
money,
our
money,
people
money.
generously? But this is, ma'am, I can't accept this. Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us.
That's small.
Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
Well, I'm not sure. I can't see exactly the prices, but
Well, I can't
Ooh.
tell because it's just
yeah.
Yang's currency, but
Right.
she smiles sweetly like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world.
Oh, before I forget.
Must be nice to have that much
lovely
money.
interior designer would appreciate
Right?
it if you had
Please.
a copy of the floor plan as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house.
No, I bet she is.
You can do that, yes?
She might be dying in the house soon.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed
don't know
as
about
soon as
that.
possible. I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you too soon so we can get this closed.
Just like that. Transaction over and done
They
with.
seem like way too like, we have to have this house. Like, why do they have to have this house?
Well, you know how close they looked to the other owners.
Right. That's what I'm thinking of in my brain, but,
She's way more,
yeah.
I need this house. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Right, whatever, man. You do whatever you want to do.
My mind's still reeling even after they've left. Other agents would kill to have clients like them. A part of me feels lucky about the fact. No lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done. The other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to two innocent clients.
Oof.
Sure, the commission's big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization, and big enough to pay for all 4 of my younger siblings' schooling.
Holy that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diet for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well once the guild has been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's in there, and we gave it to the good couple despite that, oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money, Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell him next time I call home. The little lie I told Mama this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something.
They're definitely something.
So how does it
for
feel?
sure.
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
In more ways than one. Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus too, aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
She slings an arm over my shoulders and leans in closer to my ear as though she's been about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself.
What is that? What's a
Throw a
party?
party and treat your friends to free food.
Free food?
What?
Didn't you say the last one is some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
That's how I feel about parties.
Your call.
My kind of
I'll
party is
say
like
yes to an
3
invitation,
people
by
and
the way.
pizza
In case you
in video
really
games.
want to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
And Mountain Dew.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move. Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass.
Thank you.
That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
Now, I don't know how rent works over there, but I feel like purchasing a house would be way cheaper than paying the rent. Especially around here.
I don't know.
Well, honestly, for us, like, we're paying about like $700 a month for rent, and I feel like having a house is way cheaper than that. And
Yeah,
that's-
I don't
that's
know.
a tiny two-room.
Yeah.
Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk.
But you can get, she looks like she has a very small, like, very, very small apartment. Like, barely enough for one person, though. So, it probably is cheaper because it's so small, but if it was any bigger, it probably
Well, I mean,
would
that's why
be.
I'm saying, like, in comparison
Yeah.
to how it is over here, like, I know other places are like, oh, it's, like, actually not that bad in order to rent and everything. Here, it's like, it's either you gotta rent a $700 to $800 apartment or buy a freaking house.
Yeah.
No in between,
yeah,
and it's an
no.
arm and a leg.
It's ridiculous.
Her tone shifts from playful to professional in the span of a few seconds.
Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of DRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. A saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it.
That's me. I couldn't sell anything.
Of course, I learned eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Once, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimmed with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree.
Whoa!
2 semesters?
2 semesters? Oh my
From a
god!
nursing degree.
Jesus, I would have just finished.
Yeah. Out of courtesy, I never pressed on the matter further.
But I mean...
But perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started.
But I mean, if you're really not happy with what you're doing, then I can see that.
Yeah,
like,
but I feel like if
you're that close, you should have either finished that degree or finished something else. Like,
I'd have been like, finish it so you can say you have it even if you don't use it.
right.
A small connection due to one similar experience of in our respective lives, of goals we both let pass us by because of the circumstances we're in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. Alright, I'll be there.
Tea.
Thank you.
I'll discuss anything over tea. Just give me tea.
Tea and business.
Yes.
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away. I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows? Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
She throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. The lunchtime bells sound shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents as also heading out for a much-needed break.
They have a
lunch bell.
actual lunch bell for a break.
It's like school all
That's
over
a
again,
thing.
evidently.
That's a thing at jobs.
I don't know that.
It's usually just like take your lunch break when you can, like.
Or if you can.
Yeah.
Especially retail, if you can.
Yeah, if you can.
Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out. But oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one considers taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry, packing your lunch.
I mean, whatever you gotta do.
You got hot water, you got hot water. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash too?
Yeah, if everyone can, like, it would be so convenient if all 4 people could just get in the same, like, lunch.
In the end,
time.
only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All of my calls went straight to voicemail. He's at it again. Right here today, gone the next. Oh well, his loss. We've agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time.
Wait. How long is her lunch break? Like, you think you gotta call up, like, both of your friends, you all have to meet at the same cafe. How long is this lunch break?
Longer than a 15-minute.
Wow, because, like, my lunch break, the longest my lunch break is like 30 minutes, like, ever.
If I even get that, I'm lucky normally to get like 10 or 15. Quaint, a little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amidst the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same.
Oh, there's a little oh.
Yeah,
That's adorable.
I can't tell if that's a cat.
Or, I think it's a mouse, but it's got the whiskers.
But what's on its forehead? Is that a cross?
It looks like a cross, yeah.
And then
And there's
steering,
keys. Why are there bicycles on the wall?
and then a ship wheel, old books.
The rest I can kind of see, but the bicycles? Why? I don't know. Whatever. A lot of books.
I don't know, but we love it all the same. Much like its facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it. Vintage art pieces and a row of shelves boasting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, but even on the weekend, the place is still packed with people. The whole 2 other people in here. And the cashier.
It's packed, guys.
Can't find a place anywhere. This one dude is taking out the whole bench along the wall.
Yeah,
How
what
dare
the
he.
hell? How rude.
Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and are engaged in some casual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the 2 of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly
It's just
close.
it's so packed, guys.
I saw the cello on the wall too.
Oh, I did see that earlier.
And the records.
But you'd think I guess they just didn't want to draw more people. Like, I don't know.
It's so packed with the whole 2 people. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when there's something funny, but there's distance, the kind born purely out of differing interests. That, or Zach's simply afraid of Becca.
Zach's afraid of Becca?
I mean, it's not impossible, and I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest person in our group, but everyone knows that it means nothing against Becca's temper.
It's true. She does have the mom. The mom eyes, like, are you sure you're gonna do that?
They're gonna smack you if you don't. Even I'm a little scared of her.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened?
So do you.
I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. let's order food first, okay?
Food always comes first.
A waitress comes by to take our order. On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages, or potatoes in it.
Like, just give me meat and potatoes. That's what I
I'll
usually
definitely
order.
take the potatoes.
Anything with meat and potatoes is me.
But today's a good day. Great, even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Even the person jotting down her order looks surprised at today's meal choice. She writes it, nevertheless, and leaves without a comment.
Don't judge us, waitress. Don't
I-
judge us.
I judge every customer I get. I judge all of them.
I mean,
Becca furrows her eyebrows, her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimands.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I was punched when I punched a kid bullying my younger brother 18 years ago.
oh, well, that makes sense. He was bullying my younger brother. I mean,
Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day.
wait, how old is Isabella?
26?
26? Okay.
18 years ago, so she was like, what, 8?
Yeah.
Damn.
Savage.
But Becca's far from being my mom. A small, sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we are each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. That looks fancy.
I don't know what you mean about fancy.
Pan-roasted sea bass with citrus-dressed asparagus and
Citrus dress.
and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side, or at least that's what the daily special board says.
Yeah, I can't do fish. Ugh.
I can't do fish.
I don't
but
like
it looks-
asparagus either.
But it looks good.
It does look very fancy though. If that was like steak,
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
probably be all about it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I never did pay any attention to it whenever I come here, since they price whatever's written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You are always hungry.
Hey, not all the time.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Not on purpose. I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say it, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An expectant grin breaks out on my face.
a thing.
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raises an eyebrow at me while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Oh, bummer. Maybe I should just rephrase it.
My instant noodle days are over. Ash is not here, so we should celebrate. I'm not gonna be a dick.
Oh, I knew that. Wait, who went up?
I don't know. Probably both of
Both.
them. Yeah.
If we-
Say,
if
we
we
need
said-
Rebecca's to go
Yeah,
up.
but if
So
we
yeah,
just said, Ash isn't here so we can celebrate, they'd
she'd
have
be
went down.
mad. Yeah.
Guess what, guys? I'm Pain. I sold the house.
As the news sinks in, their expression goes from sheer bewilderment to utter surprise.
How did you do that?
I don't know. That's more like it.
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today,
Lady
I'm
and
Maria
gentlemen.
Isabella Grace Cruz Santos and free from my instant noodle binge.
Seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Aslam Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's...
She lets out a hum. Although she's nodding, she gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Did she think we wouldn't be able to sell it? I
Dude.
didn't think either. Have some faith in me, Becca. Am I not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
The words tumble out of my mouth before I can stop them. I've been trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
I mean, they wanted to buy it as soon as they came in, so.
Before they
Happens
Yeah.
from time to time.
Yeah, but... Look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, you have something. What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out? Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it, more like. But I'm not gonna tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'd only worry.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
The Rice, apparently.
Yeah, the rich people, apparently.
The
It's
Richie
actually
Richie.
pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm almost surprised you accepted it.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
You don't really think they believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle.
I beg to differ.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
I begin to gather their plates to my side, with the food in each still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth with the way Zach's expression quickly changes to
My
disappointment.
food!
Becca's hand interrupts me as I'm just about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding. Don't go all pounding on me again. I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange talking about this with other people, given those who have known you long enough. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. However long this lunch is. A laugh here, playful jab there, but most of it is spent on catching up and telling stories about whatever's keeping us
Dude,
busy
if you
these
get
days.
me on catching up about stories, like, I will be talking forever.
This is like, we'll be
Like,
gone.
that'll be the longest lunch. Like, it'll be, like, dark out by the time.
Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic. While he's far from being the life of a party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in the conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time.
What's up with Zach?
If Becca notices,
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
she notices.
Huh? Well, no, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her inquiry as though the man's look is enough for an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble upon a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
No, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
The movie.
Becca glances at Zach, her motions unsure, her eyes asking for his consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her, explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca.
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. It's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
From how her tone rises in anger, it seems like she's the one slighted and not Zach. Snicker escapes me, which I promptly stamp down as soon as she sends me a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I didn't care about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out dribble, you're better off watching an educational kids TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say.
And how many times did they sit there and watch it? They were in there for a few hours.
You could call that a critique?
I don't know.
Did we even watch the same film?
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it. Better stick with my photography or something. If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
You're giving up.
It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters to those people.
Don't
Yeah, but
say
that's only
that.
some reviewers, though. That's not all of them.
My palm strikes the table, sending the tableware on top clinking against each other. I didn't even notice when I rose from my seat. But here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher would at any unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I didn't mean to yell, but there are some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating. He, of all people, should know.
It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining here? Help me here. Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I haven't read what those people wrote about his work, but a few scathing words shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I should know. After all, I'm...
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at. I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit. What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Exhibit?
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
A burst of laughter comes from Zach.
Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There's no face at all. Only a poor imitation of puppy dog eyes, if you could call this one.
Promise.
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys.
Damn right.
Besides,
What a
you're
bro.
right. It's too early to say anything right now. What's night ain't for another week?
And that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path you've walked.
Just like this game. No one's gonna take the same path twice.
Oh yeah. It's not like it's over for me though. I still have time. I can still come back. Do my own thing, do what I really want to do.
What do you really want?
Surely once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. Screen shows Rose.
Oh boy.
Hey, Isabel. You at the office?
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
McCullough.
She states that as if it already explains everything. Then, out of the blue, she launches a long rant about the awful state of Luxburg streets. All of which she says in a single breath that I can barely keep up and make out a single word. I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next object of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
When she finally ran out of things to complain about and stops, what she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumbled plea for me to meet the Wright's interior designer in her stead.
What? What?
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye. Thanks.
Excuse me?
Classic Rose. She ends the call without even asking for my input. The sky is cloudless and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we leave the cafe.
Oof.
It's far from unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood or make them vulnerable to catching something. No wonder we have staff members going AWOL lately. Not to mention my boss's mercurial moods. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather, though, the streets of Luxburg remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement and an inane chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd fill the humid afternoon air. A small reminder of the things we still have to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed.
Struggle is real.
Back to Briar Realty for me, Zach to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans and books at home. But more than once, I catch her sneaking a longing glance over something displayed on the shop window. Does she want to buy something? Maybe I can get it for her this Christmas. I turn my head at the last shop she checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The world stills.
Oh boy. Oh!
She looks at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing and boring into my very soul like a set of chains to keep my whole body still.
Holy shit.
There are no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea. A hum, low and indistinct. Compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me to the void beyond the glass.
Oh no.
Help me. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, every thump screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy while my own breathing strains in the face of her calls.
I don't want it.
Alone. Her mouth is stretched in a grin, wide and unpleasant. The panic building up in my chest forces me to take a tentative step back. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh. The blood is streaming from the gaping wounds on her arm as her nailless fingers.
That background music, though.
And that twitching head. I don't want this.
Nobody wants this.
Not like this.
Nobody wants this.
Not after I got what I want for Papa.
No, stop. Leave me alone.
Her face contorts as she lets out a wail, sharp and utterly unforgiving. Rage. There is only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in and of itself.
Please, I don't want this.
Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards, my own throat hoarse from the screams I didn't even notice already coming out of my mouth. The back of my feet catches on a loose stone, sending me sprawling on the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of the haze, blurring my mind. For a little while, my surroundings appear unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into my vision.
Oof.
A look of concern is on her face, and her hands
here we
are gripping
go.
my arms tight.
Here's the Mama Becca.
Even Zach appears beside himself with worry while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against a small crowd of onlookers already forming around us.
What happened?
Bella, you okay?
My mouth opens and closes, but nothing comes out. The words refuse to form. On impulse, I sneak a swift glance at the display window. She's gone. Yet the foreboding feeling hasn't left me. My hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground, my weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its home at the pit of my stomach. I want to throw up, anything to get the wretched sensation out.
You were screaming. Zach, call
Hell
someone.
yeah, I was.
No, don't. I'm good. I'm good. I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later.
Careful. Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Isabella. Zach, you watch over her for me. I'll call for someone.
I attempt to smile to put her at ease, but it likely comes off as a grimace. Gently, I push her hands off my shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can stand. Leave. Leave me. Stay away. away. The humidity's stifling, everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I don't want to be here. No more. I break into a run. I wish I hadn't left my bed this
So
morning.
does everybody that wakes up, like, honestly. But her in particular right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Oof.
Here, with only the occasional drips of water on the sink and the whirring of the fan blades to keep me company, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking. But even with the clutter to keep me company, the room still feels a whole lot bigger than usual. I hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside. Loud. So loud. If only there was a way to tune everything out to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for... Enough. That's enough. A shiver passes over me, though it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows I've left wide open. My gaze shifts over to the letter sitting on the coffee table. Its edges flutter incautiously as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary-looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away or to rip it to pieces is still there. I can easily do it, but after that, what?
Yeah, I have a feeling that wouldn't help.
Will she leave me? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? This uncertainty gnaws at me. Knowing that she's real and might also go after the people I care about, I just wish someone would listen. Believe me. The abrupt break in the silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Blindly, I fish out my phone from under the mess of papers and cushions where I've carelessly thrown it before taking a shower hours ago. Zach's name flashes brightly on the screen. Is he calling because of this afternoon? Frankly, it's the last thing I want to discuss. But I did leave the two of them there without saying anything.
Yeah, he's just concerned.
Knowing Zach, I bet he's worried.
Hey, Zach.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you're not gonna pick up.
Sorry, it took me a while to find my phone.
No worries. You game tomorrow?
I pause. I don't recall making plans with Zach for the weekend.
Did I forget something?
Remember that guy I told you about? Back in the movies?
Oh, okay.
Priest? For the blessing? Does it ring a bell?
Oh, right. I did say that, but I didn't think he'd actually go through with the trouble, especially after what happened with this film. Sometimes
Of course it's Zach.
Sometimes I forget how kind Zach can be.
Yeah, it's Zach. He's not gonna break a promise.
Yeah, I remember. Is he fine with it?
My friend doesn't mind. We're lucky he's not busy. So, tomorrow, he'll meet us at the mansion.
At the mansion.
Okay. Sorry for the trouble,
Oof.
Zach.
Hey, no problem. I'm the one who suggested it to begin with.
Why not at the church?
Well, this afternoon you did surprise us. Never seen you scream like that. You scared the hell out of Rebecca.
I guess I owe you a lot for this, huh?
Nah, we're cool, we're cool. You had us worried. But I know you'll tell us about it eventually. I just want to make sure you're doing well. You left all of a sudden and you're not answering any of our calls.
He's trying to get me to talk. Normally I tell him I'm fine, say a few simple reassurances to put their minds at ease. Now nothing will form. I can't bring myself to say anything. He seems to have sensed my hesitation because he immediately changes the subject.
Anyway, I gotta go. I left something on the stove before making this call. Just soup. But it'd be embarrassing if I burned soup.
I doubt it. Ashton, on the other hand.
Well, remind me to tell you about what he did with the pressure cooker next time. Oh, damn, it overflowed!
Oh!
Get going. Bye, Bella.
Can hear it steaming. He hangs up before I can thank him. The busy tone, though muffled, echoes throughout the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I'm doubtful it will. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare.
Alright. I feel like that's a good place to stop.
It is.
It's been a long...
It is.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Alright. New. Okay. I just want to make sure, like, all
Save.
that is gone. Save.
Yeah.
We've
gone through this whole time without saving.
gone through a long time. Alright, that's a good place to stop. We went through a lot of progress, so yeah, it's been a long time since we played, but we made a good progress, so that'll be a good place to come back to when we come back. Not sure when that'll be, but
Hopefully quicker than...
hopefully soon. Hopefully soon, because, like, we're already, like, you know, making new decisions that like neither of us have seen before. So
Well, you've seen nothing.
yeah,
of
I
this.
have literally seen nothing. Like she's seen some stuff.
I only know
but
one route.
yeah,
is
so
all I
like
know.
everything we choose is gonna dictate what we see and what we know, and for me it's like everything is different, but like yeah, so it'll be really interesting. So thanks everybody so much for watching, and we will pick it up next time. Not sure when that's gonna be, but next time,
Hopefully soon.
hopefully very soon. All right, bye.
Bye.